back to another video. I am the AC Orange, and today I'm going to be reviewing a book called The Hunger Games. This was written by Suzanne Collins, which is an author of another great book series that I love. It's called Gregor the Underlander. And we have some in our library if you guys want to check them out. I highly recommend it. I also highly recommend The Hunger Games. It is a great book in my opinion, and if the book world was the art world, it would be filled with the most vibrant colors you could possibly imagine, and the best art you could ever imagine. In fact, writing books is kind of an art. Now, what are the Hunger Games? They are a government-organized, arena-styled slaughter from kids 11 to 18. The kids, one male and one female from each district. There are 12 districts, so if you can do the math, that is 24 people in all in a giant arena armed with dangerous weapons trying to kill each other. Fun to watch, right? Surprisingly, a lot of people think so. Now this is the protagonist, Katniss. She will do anything to protect her family, and in fact she does. She stares death in the eyes just to keep them safe. And she has been doing that for years. She was illegally hunting with a bow and arrow that her father made for her before the Hunger Games. Now, in the Hunger Games, there was a bow and arrow. Sadly, in the opening, she did not get it. And all those years of legal hunting can put you on the edge and give you good aim with a bow and arrow. Both things that she could use in the Hunger Games. Now, this is a bow and arrow. Is it Katniss's? No. But it is a bow and arrow. And that is her life. She would have died 5 times over without it. But instead, she killed 5 times over with it. She is amazing with it. She supported her family with a bow and arrow for years by shooting the target right through the 2 eyes to kill it, and not given any flesh wounds to please her family. Now, she is nothing like this with a bow and arrow. I think that goes pretty self-explanatory because no one is, unless you have this bow and arrow. And this is her little sister, Prim. Now, Prim is 11 years old and just old enough to go into the Hunger Games. Now, as you can see, she's pretty worried, which is probably because she's at the reaping, the time when the 2 competitors get picked from a bingo-like ball. Sorry, I had to find the word there. And basically go to the Hunger Games. Now, this is Katniss's mother. Also, Prim's mother. She fell into a Great Depression. After the father died in a mine accident, and she then could not cook or did not cook for the family. So Katniss took over cooking and hunting and supporting the family basically, because she had to illegally hunt with the bow that her father made for her. And again, all those years of illegal hunting, you know what I said before. Now this is the pin that Katniss wore into the Hunger Games. And when she did, it became a fashion statement in the capital. Also, because of the climax, when she pulled out the berries, she was doing it as a sign of rebellion to the capital. Because there could only be one winner. But the capital said there can be 2 if they're from the same district. Now they took that back after Prim was watching that too. She must have been very sad watching it. Katniss and Peeta had to fight to the death, both of which she both really liked Prim. Now, it was even harder for Peeta and Katniss to fight, so they didn't. Katniss took out a poison berry and gave one to Peeta, one to herself, and at the same time touched their lips. The capital stopped them. They called out, and we have the winner of the 74th Hunger Games. Now, keep in mind that it was the 74th, not the 75th, because if it was the 75th, it would have been the Quarter Quill, which of course Katniss wouldn't have been in, hopefully. This is Rue, an entry that she meets in the games. Now, Rue is the same age as Prim, 12 years old. And she is very lovable, as you can see. This is Katniss talking to her, and she has amazing performance in the Hunger Games. Sadly, she got killed because Katniss had to win. Now, if the book wouldn't have required our protagonist to win, then she would have been the winner of the Hunger Games. Because just look at that face. If you're writing a book, how can you make that face lose? Now, this are the careers. And if you can read that, which I know all of you can, then you can tell that it is most likely that the winner will be one of them. That's especially true with District 1, who has so many victors that it would be hard to decide who's going to be the mentor each year. In fact, they probably have to trade off each year. And with all those new victors coming in, it must be very hard to decide. This is Gale and Peeta. Now, Gale, on the left, stays in District 12 and hunts with Katniss while she's not in the Hunger Games. They both had a crush for her, and Gale does not announce it, but Peeta does. At first, Katniss thinks it's a strategy to lure her into a trap and kill her, but it is not. And this is the man himself, President Snow. And if you can see the eagle there, then that represents North America, which the symbol for us is an eagle. That is because it rose from the ashes of North America. Now, this is the antagonist, as you can see. I mean, that serious face cannot be the protagonist unless he's a wizard, which he kind of looks like a wizard. Yeah, he directs the Hunger Games and everything that goes on before and after. He crowns the victor, and everyone loves him. That is, in the capital. All the districts can see how he is mean and bad. And if he ever could expand his land, he would probably be the worst dictator the world has ever seen. Now, some rising actions of this novel are Katniss gets picked for the Hunger Games. Katniss goes into the Hunger Games. Cinna makes her a fabulous dress, which I forgot to talk about Cinna. He is the designer for Katniss. He is a first-year designer, so he does not know what he is really doing. That is, as Katniss thought. He was the best designer that could have gotten Katniss, because he made her light on fire. And I know you think, well, Katniss lights on fire. How does she win the Hunger Games? She must have died. It was not metaphorical either. He lit her on fire with kind of fake flames. Because District 12 is a coal mining place, and they mine coal. What do you do with coal? You make it into fire. Now, so the climax, as I told you, is that Katniss pulls out the berries. Now, that may not sound, if I just said, oh, the climax is Katniss pulls out berries, it may not sound like, oh no, why is that so important? But since they're poisonous, and Katniss and Gale both go home, then it means that is the climax for every book, even though they're not in every book. Now, everything leading up to it, and everything leading down, it is all based in the city of Panem, which is ruled by President Snow. Now, most people think that he's the worst leader ever. I do too. And I don't know about you, but I hope you enjoyed this. That's goodbye for now. Please subscribe and leave a like.